What is up, guys? Lately, I feel like it's been some bullshit when it comes to video games. And I know you guys know what I'm talking about. You got Sony over here trying to make an all digital monopoly and force it down our throats. You got Microsoft, you know, slashing through jobs. Asher Swarma up there cleaning up Phil Spencer's mess, slashing through jobs like she's the Grim Reaper, or Kyrie Irving cut into the paint. And the fucking Steam machine exists at like $1,000 plus. You know what I mean? So yeah, it feels like gaming fucking sucks right now. But I'm actually here to tell you that on the real, like no rage bait, no trolling shit. Gaming actually is better than it ever has been. Aside from the corporate bullshit that's been going on in video games, and I want to talk about it today. I do. I mean it. So to get started, right, I want to start a little context, as you guys know how I am about my context. A little context about how I started playing video games, right? I think the first time I picked up a controller, it was like, I can't even fucking fully remember. The first time I picked up a controller was like, I'm gonna say the place. No, I'm gonna say I think it's the 360 actually. I think the first time I played a video game was on my uncle's 360. My uncle Bruce, at the time we were living, like it was a lot of us in that fucking house, bro. I was like maybe no, like I don't even think my sister definitely wasn't born by this time, you know. So like that shit dated. Like my youngest sister wasn't even born. Like this was like my little brother was probably like no older than like 5, 8 years old. So like yeah. But anyways, my bad, I'm getting off track. So like I was playing like Xbox. It was like some GTA. I think it was 4. I'm not fully sure which GTA it was. I remember it was GTA that I was playing. I didn't really understand it. Like I was just kind of walking around type shit. And I did the same thing on my uncle's Xbox, like my uncle Sam's Xbox. But that was like the earliest memories I've had of actually trying a video game. But the earliest memories I have of actually playing a video game, like actually playing it, was Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I'm not even gonna try to put it in the video because of copyright, but I'm talking about like I could take you for a little ride, doo 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 doo. You know what I mean, like that shit. Like that was on the PS3, and then like the first console I really had. Shocker, this might actually shock you. I personally had was like a Nintendo 3DS or DS. I think it was just a DS. But it was like a Nintendo DS. I had like I think like SpongeBob. It was like some SpongeBob racing Mario Kart shit. I loved that. I had like the Three Ninjas. All right, I don't. I know that shit. I think that shit's still on Xbox today. But yeah, I had like that little Three Ninjas joint going on. You know what I mean? Little Three Ninjas action type shit. We had excuse me. We had actually I think that was about all I really remember having. But like as a family in that same house, we had a Wii that like me, my cousins, and my brother, like we were obsessed with that shit, bro. Like Mario Kart, Wii. You know what I mean? Like we were obsessed with that shit. And that's like when I first started. My main console throughout the years has always been PlayStation 3. Around that time, that's about when I got into video games, and I played games like Shoot Many Robots. If you know, you know. Peak video game. I can't even find it no more. But like, I mean, hey, digital ownership right there, man. Like, just proof. But like, anyways, Shoot Many Robots was one. I know like Revenge of the Wounded Dragons was another peak beat 'em up. If you guys remember that shit. We were playing things like Scott Pilgrim versus the World, which pretty much, that's where my love for Scott Pilgrim comes from. We were playing like NBA 2K14 for the PS3. That was like after I was playing NBA Jam on Fire Edition. Bro, the jump from NBA Jam to NBA 2K14 on the PS3, it dead ass felt like I was in the league, bro. Like I can't even the amount of hours I sank into PS3 2K14, like that, it's got to be at least 500. Like I sank hours. I sank months of my life into that shit, bro. Like I love basketball. I actually played a little bit when I was younger. I don't know if I was any like good, but like you get the point, bro. Like it was amazing. Like video games have always been a major part of my life, and then as I grew up and I expanded my consoles as I got my own job type shit, I had like an Xbox Series X, or I'm lying, an Xbox One S. That was like my first Xbox, which I loved it, and it kind of slowed down on me. It was an all digital version, by the way, but it slowed the fuck down on me towards the end of its lifespan by the time I upgraded it to a Series S. And the Series S seems to be doing alright. It doesn't seem to be slowing down or lagging behind, knock on wood, you know what I mean? But, it's not bad. I have a PS5, which I've only really been playing more as of recently, because I really want to play Resident Evil Requiem, because Elizabeth got it for me. And I need to finish some other games on there. But, like, yeah, I have that. I have a Switch. I want to upgrade that to a Switch 2 type shit. And then I have, obviously this PC I'm fucking recording on that, I've sank a lot of hours into. Like I love video games, right? And it really pisses me off when people are like, "Oh, video gaming is dead. It's garbage. It sucks. Video gaming is bad. If it wasn't for me, video games wouldn't even exist." I'm sorry. You guys know I can't help but to do that shit. But, but like, yeah, I hear so many people, and like, you can't put it all on the quote unquote gun and ball gamers. You know what I mean? Like, if we're being completely honest here, you can't put it all on them type shit. But you can put some of it, I'll be honest. Like, some of the motherfuckers, they just be buying anything. But like, anyways, moving on. I'm sorry. I'm just getting off track. When it comes down to it, so many people have this ideology that like, oh, video games are like, they're all the same. There's nothing good to play. Everything's mad corporate, etc., etc., etc. And like, there is some truth to that, but it's not all true. Like, for example, right? There is like a game like Rainbow Six Siege that's like playing in the background right now. Like, I love Siege. It's been around for like 11 years at this point. It's fucking crazy, right? And it's like one of the only like quote unquote live service ish games that I play. One of the only like shooters I actually play, and I enjoy it. But it's not the only thing I play, because if it was the only thing I play, I would probably be sick to my fucking stomach, for being completely honest. I love playing other games, like fucking like let's put in my library so far. Like right now, I've been playing Resident Evil 4 original on my Switch. And that's been amazing. I've already beaten the remake, but I wanted to see where the original roots were lying. If you catch my drift, I've been playing. I've been playing Final Fantasy 16 on my PS5, and I've had mixed thoughts about it. I feel like it's kind of boring, or at least it drags on. But like, when it does hit, it hits. Like those icon fights are amazing. I won't lie. Fucking fighting Bahamut in space was fucking crazy. I'm not even gonna lie to you. That shit was hard. I've been playing like the Yakuza series. Like I was really obsessed with it. I still love it. I just kind of slowed down a bit because I felt like I was just speeding through the series too fast. But like I'm on like Yakuza 6 now. You know what I mean? And it's been crazy to just see Kiryu growing up and all this other shit. Like, I felt like I was really there throughout all the years with this nigga. You know what I mean? And like some other games that I've like have on my interest are like Expedition 33, Metaphor Ray Fantasio, Bully. I've been playing San Andreas on my Switch as well, just to get a little taste of the older GTAs. And my point is, I think a lot of gamers, when they say like, oh, gaming is boring or there's nothing to play or whatever, they're mainly referring to A, new things to play, or B, fucking like things outside of their comfort zone / genre, right? Because if you mean new things, right? Like I have a boy, like one of my homeboys, who's pretty up to date when it comes to video games. Like it seems like he's always got the newest one. He's always, playing it through, taking his time, all that shit. Like, he can beat like a game in a weekend or so, type shit. And like, for guys like that, I could kind of see where you're coming from in a sense of like, oh, like there's nothing new to play at times if you're like just speeding or like playing through everything. But my solution to that would just be, we'll just get on Game Pass, or like, or if you want to actually own your games, if you have a disc drive, go to a GameStop and just fucking take like $20. Go get some old like Xbox. If you have an Xbox, you can like backwards compatible whichever ones. If you're PlayStation, it's a little tricky, but just go get some old games, right? Just say like, hey, I got like $20. I want to just get like a handful of random games for insert console with those $20. What can you get me? Or I just go pick them out yourself and give it a shot. You never know, right? Like, or if you don't want to do it that way, you can just do the Game Pass route. You can do the PlayStation Plus route. I know Sony would love that shit as well, And that also kind of bleeds into the second point of the genre. I think a lot of folks just don't want to expand their genres when it comes to video games these days. And to an extent, I can understand why. Getting out of your comfort zone is not easy type shit. I get it. But I think it really is worth it. Because, like, to get personal for a second, right? Games like Madden, 2K, FIFA, I guess it's called Football Club now, if I remember correctly. Games like that, I can say for sure, are fucking scams. Okay, I played, like I said, I played 2K14 on the PS3, right? We didn't even have an internet connection at our, like, it's a long story, but, like, we didn't really have an internet connection like that back then. So, like, that was one of the only games I could play, right? So I used it with offline skill points. So, like, it was a bit of a different experience for me. My first 2K with actual VC was 2K17, and it was a whole new world. You know what I mean? I'm just like, whoa, I gotta pay for this shit? And it's like, oh, well, it's optional. You don't have to. But, like, at the time, I was like, fuck it. I'm sorry, guys. You guys already know I have to yawn every fucking time I make one of these videos. But at the time, I was like, fuck it. It's what everyone else is doing. It's apparently the way to play the game. This is just how 2K is, right? And back then, you could spend like 20, oh, excuse me. I could get like a 20, right? My grandma would give me like a 20. I go to Target or whatever, get a PlayStation card, like a gift card. Them bitches were clutch back in the day. If you know, you know. But get one of them PlayStation Plus cards or whatever, and then just get some VC, and then level up my new build to like fucking, to like level, like at least like 75, if not 80 overall, if I didn't use like $30 or whatever. Like, it wasn't that expensive at the time, right? Like, or at least it felt like it was. It wasn't too crazy. But, as the years went on, I remember I tried 2K18 and I hated it, right? Like, they were just real. If you were there, you know what I'm talking about. They were pushing the bar with how expensive they can make 2K, and I was just disgusted. They had us paying for haircuts, bro, and tattoos and shit. And it wasn't even like you permanently unlocked it after you got it. No, you had to. If you wanted to change it, you had to pay money for that shit, or VC, which is basically money. And I'm just like, bro, fuck this. And then after that, I was just kind of off of 2K. I bought 2K19 when it was like $3 over the weekend, and I was like, you know what? I'll play some My Career, and then I'll just get off. And that's kind of what I ended up doing. I just played the little story, and then I got off. I didn't play any 2K20. I was playing Rainbow Six Siege during quarantine, and some story games like that. That Rainbow Six Siege, that quarantine siege, like, if you know, you know, man. Like that, those are just some good times back then. But anyways, 20. So 21, I sunk a lot of time in the 21 when I got like my new gen console, my Xbox Series S, and I was in DC, and I was like, oh, well, it's been some years since I played, and that was like the most expensive I've ever seen 2K get, and I'm just like, bro, this is like ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like it was actually insane how expensive it was, and like just watching over the years how expensive it got. Like I've always had like an on and off relationship with 2K, but typically I don't really buy them anymore unless it's on sale and I'm just really itching to play some basketball for a little bit. But even then, it just feels so animation heavy, and the graphics just look so ugly. Like I don't. Maybe I'm in the odd one out for saying that. I don't know. But like I swear, bro, the graphics look so fucking ugly these days. Like they actually look like shit. Like if you go back on 2K14, I know, but you do it on the PS4, the PS5, it looks like you're in a real stadium. The lighting is amazing. I'll see if I can't find the clip and just put it on the screen for a little bit. The lighting looks amazing. The gameplay looks more fluid, and like things just hit. Like I'm telling you, bro. In comparison to the newer 2Ks where it's like, oh, the dudes are sweatier. You know what I mean? It's like fuck off. Like fuck this bullshit. I'm not playing this. So like I can speak from experience, okay? Those games are scams. They are just 60, 70, $80 scams that are literally just like a free money printer for EA, for 2K, and the rest of them. And I'm telling you, you don't have to play them. Okay? I know, especially like my black brothers, especially because I mean, whew, I'm sorry, my black brothers, especially, right? You know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean. Just because it's the only option does not mean it's your only option. Like hell, you can just play last year's game, right? And of course, you can't just play anyone you want online because, well, 2K conveniently makes it to where after 2 years, the game servers just go offline to force you to buy one of the new games, which I think is just disgusting because then it erases all the progress that you made on the previous 2Ks. Like all those hours I put into 2K17 for my builds and stuff, I can't access it anymore because the servers are offline. And I think that's just disgusting. So I personally tell people, like, you have choice. You have options. You don't have to play that shit every year. And listen, there are other basketball games out there. Like I know there's like that 3-on-3 shit. There was like that NBA. I know there's like this NBA blacktop or playground shit that just came out not too long ago. That I know like what the soft drink TV's been talking a lot about. Give that shit a look. You know what I mean? Like you have options, or hell, just play older games. Which brings me to my next segment. This will be probably my last one because I want to wrap this up. But like, you don't have to buy the newest thing all the time. You know what I mean? Like, they're talking about the PS6, right? Like, let's take the recent Sony's nonsense, right? Sony essentially wants to make an all-digital monopoly on their platform and cut out the middleman, mainly for money. Also for control, because if they control all the prices, they can sell you The Last of Us Remastered Part 2 at a full $80, and that's your only choice to fucking get it if it's an all digital marketplace, right? As an example. Meanwhile, if you got it on Amazon, or if you got it like a GameStop, or even if you got it secondhand, you might not pay a dime, but you get it on one of those other storefronts, you can get it for like $20. You know what I mean? Which I think is one of the best ways to experience a video game. It's like when it's on sale, it's like $20. You're like, fuck it, let me give it a shot. That's actually how I experienced The Last of Us 2. It was like on sale for like $20, and I said, well, fuck it, I'm gonna give it a shot. But yeah, like they want to do this shit, and they're like ruining their reputation. They're having like a literal Xbox One level phenomena, if you remember how that released. And they're about to try to market the PS6 in like another year, 2, maybe 3 years. Listen to me. You don't have to buy it. You don't have to buy the Steam machine. You don't have to buy the Switch 2. You don't have to buy the Project Helix. You don't have to buy anything you don't want to buy or anything you don't support. Like them Call of Duty ports for Black Ops 1 and 2, just so happened to come out right as fucking my brain. right as the whole PlayStation boycott nonsense was going on, the whole shit, which is completely justified in my opinion. Like, fuck Sony for that. But like, as that shit's going on, all of a sudden, it just so happens we have these two ports that you guys have been begging for years. Like, I wonder why you have these ready now when you're in the most controversial position you've been in years. But I digress. But yeah, people bought that, and I'm just hearing nothing but problems with it. They're like talking about motherfuckers are XP glitching by like offing themselves with grenades and shit in the games, and like the servers can't even stay full or whatever. Which I gotta hand it to Activision. How the fuck do you fuck up a port from the PS3 to the PS5 that bad? And I get it. People could be like, oh, but Jay, you're not a game developer. You don't know what you're talking about. And that's fair. But is it that fucking hard? Is it that hard to just port a game? I don't know. Like, I feel like all the work is there. You could just like tweak up a few bugs or whatever. Again, I'm talking on the side of my neck to be fair. But like, is it really that hard? But you get what you pay for. It's Activision, so I don't know what people expected. But case in point, you don't have to buy stuff. Okay? Every single one of us that is listening has a backlog. I know you do. You have a backlog of at least 5 games that you know damn well you haven't touched yet. And how many games have you added to your Steam, to your PlayStation, to whatever? You know what I mean? Even I'm guilty of that. That's why I just erased my wish list, bruh. Like, I need to play the shit I already have. Like, there is so much to experience in the gaming world, and there's so much that you can play for so many hours. You don't need to buy the newest thing. Okay? You don't have to get the PS6. You don't have to get GTA 6 the minute it drops. Okay? It'll be there. All right? I just want y'all to take anything away from this video, take that away from this video. All right? Those games are going to be there. They're and if anything, they're going to be cheaper when you wait for them a little bit. All right? And by that time, Sony will be feeling the repercussions of their decisions, Just do yourself a favor. Explore new genres, right? Try out new games. Finish your old games. Don't just speed through them, but just play them and finish them. And then take a deep look the next time you want to buy a console. Do you actually want to buy that console? Or do you just want to buy the newest thing? Gaming doesn't suck. It is at a very bad point right now, a gritty point, a turning point even, but we have so many options. We have emulation, we have backlogs. Gaming is also at one of its best points right now. Like, crossplay is finally a thing for a lot of games, especially like those free-to-play games like Rainbow Six in the background, where you can just play with your homies no matter the console. You know what I mean? Backwards compatibility, Sony, is a thing for like Xbox and like other I think only Xbox actually is really the only people. Like, PC doesn't really count, but like, I guess in a sense. But like, being able to just put in a fucking video game like a 360 in your Xbox Series X and just play that shit. Like, hell, I have a PS3. Like, no joke, I have a PS3 and I've been playing that shit and I've been loving it. Like, you can go back to older games and it's not just nostalgia. People have this idea that it's like, oh, you're just nostalgic for the old stuff. And it's like, even if that were true, not all nostalgia, or just because it's nostalgia doesn't mean it was all rose-tinted glasses and there was like absolutely nothing wrong with it. Like, sure, older games definitely will have their flaws and some of them will feel dated, but people still play Resident Evil 4 original and they love it, right? I played Max Payne 3, one of my favorite Rockstar games of all time, and I love it. One of the originals I remember on PlayStation 3, and I still play it. It's amazing. Just because a game is old and people love it, doesn't mean they're just nostalgic for it because of like, oh, you guys just want to re-experience the past. It's like, sure, maybe that might be true, but give them a shot. Games like Ratchet and Clank All for One, God of War. Hell, I've been playing Modern Warfare OG, not the remake, OG on my PS3, and I've been loving it. There's no fucking weird calling cards or emblems, no anime titties, no fucking overstimulating like bullshit. It's just a couple of dudes or women in the fucking lobby having some fun, blowing each other up, shooting at each other, and getting some kill streaks here and there for like 10 minutes. The matches also are so much faster. I've noticed like they're like over in like 5 minutes at the quickest, like 10 minutes at the most. Oh, excuse me, that was gross. I'm sorry. But like, yeah, like they were so much faster, and like the way that it felt like there was just much more time to play Call of Duty back then, or maybe I'm just talking outside of my head. But anyways, please do yourself a favor and just stick with what you got, all right? Or experience something new, whether that be an older game on an older console, or by using like the Game Pass type shit and getting some good experience with that. But with that being said, I'm about finished. Alright? Video games are not ass. Alright? They're not at the worst point they've ever been. I promise you. Alright? There's plenty of good for you to experience. You just gotta go out and look for it. Just gotta go out and look for it, man. I'm telling you. Like, and one of the easiest ways before I get out of here to to help you out on your way, right? Just pick a random genre, right? If you just like, oh, I like shooter games, like Call of Duty and shit. Okay, look at action adventure games like Lara Croft / Tomb Raider, or like I don't know why I said Nathan Drake, like Uncharted, or like hell, even. I guess Destiny, if you're a loser. You know what I mean? Or if you're like, oh, I like sports games. Look at games like Rocket League, NASCAR games back in the day. Or look at older Maddens and go look at how they were playing. You know what I mean? There's other football projects out there. There's other basketball projects. Like there's other sports games. Hell, Backyard Baseball just released a new game. Go look at that shit. You know what I mean? Get out of your comfort zone. And with that being said, guys, I've got nothing more to say. I feel like I've definitely said more than what I needed to say. And I just, like I said, I really just get upset when people say gaming sucks, because it just tells me that, you have a very narrow mindset of what gaming is. Gaming isn't just the newest, latest, and greatest. Gaming is like a culture, as weird as that might sound. Like there's actual culture behind these games. These are like time machines in a sense. But I'm gonna stop rambling. All right, you guys, take care of yourselves. Play new games, old games, something blue, something new, whatever the fuck. And just give it a shot and let me know what you guys are playing down there. All right, don't just keep buying the latest slop. You don't have to. You have choice. You're not a consumer, you're a customer. Alright? You're a human. You have options. Remember that. That being said, guys, that is my black ass perspective on video games and how they've been, I guess, evolving, and how the current state of things is over the years. Oh, if you're wondering, I don't plan on buying a PS6 either, like mainly because it's just gonna be so expensive, it's not gonna be worth it. But like, just get a PC. Just get a fucking PC at that price, bro. But with that being said, I love you guys, and I will see you guys in the next video. Later.